Imagine a world where history comes alive, where the past unfolds before your eyes. Welcome to Moments in History, the channel that takes you on a journey through time. Today, we delve into the dark side of one of history's most influential figures. In this episode, we explore the unspeakable things Genghis Khan did. But first, let me ask you, what would you do if you had the power to shape empires and change the course of history? Intrigued? Well then, let's dive into the intriguing world of Genghis Khan. Now, let's delve deeper into the fascinating and often overlooked aspects of Genghis Khan's reign. Genghis Khan, the renowned Mongolian leader, forged an empire that stretched across vast territories, leaving an indelible mark on history. While his military prowess and ability to unite nomadic tribes are widely acknowledged, there exists a darker side to his legacy, the unspeakable things he did. Genghis Khan's rise to power was marked by a relentless pursuit of dominance and expansion. Under his leadership, the Mongols embarked on a series of military campaigns, conquering kingdoms and empires that stood in their path. The tales of their conquests are legendary, but it is essential to recognize the profound consequences of these victories. Behind the grand narrative of empire building lies a more complex story. Genghis Khan's conquests were often accompanied by a level of devastation that was unprecedented for the time. Entire cities were razed to the ground, leaving behind a wake of destruction and despair. The Mongol army was relentless, employing tactics designed to instill fear and subjugate their enemies. The psychological warfare they waged left deep scars on the lands they conquered. It is also important to examine Genghis Khan's treatment of resistance. Those who defied his rule faced harsh consequences. The loyalty and discipline enforced by Genghis Khan allowed his forces to achieve military superiority and overcome formidable opponents. However, this discipline came at a price, as any signs of dissent were met with swift and merciless punishment. As we explore the unspeakable things Genghis Khan did, we must also consider the lasting consequences of his actions. The territories he conquered experienced significant political, cultural, and demographic changes. Entire civilizations were upended, and the loss of life was staggering. Join us as we uncover the lesser-known aspects of Genghis Khan's reign, shedding light on the complex tapestry of triumph and tragedy that shaped his legacy. Now that we have a general understanding of the darker aspects of Genghis Khan's reign, let us explore in detail 5 specific instances that exemplify the unspeakable things he did. Devastation and massacres. In Genghis Khan's relentless pursuit of dominance and expansion, his conquests were accompanied by unparalleled devastation and merciless massacres. No city was spared from the wrath of his armies, as entire populations found themselves at the mercy of the Mongol horde. Streets ran red with blood, and chaos reigned as resistance was met with brutal force. The Mongols showed no mercy, sparing no one regardless of age, gender, or social status. Their ferocity and indiscriminate violence left a staggering death toll in their wake. The scale of the massacres was incomprehensible as city after city fell under their ruthless advance. The psychological impact of their brutality cannot be underestimated. It served as a warning to others, leaving a deep-seated fear that permeated the lands they sought to conquer. Genghis Khan's armies left behind a trail of devastation, reducing cities to smoldering ruins and obliterating cultural heritage. Survivors faced further anguish as they were captured and enslaved, adding to the suffering and displacement of countless innocent lives. The unspeakable things Genghis Khan did, marked by devastation and massacres, depict the harrowing price paid for his empire and serve as a chilling reminder of the depths of human cruelty. Psychological warfare. Genghis Khan's military conquests were not solely dependent on brute force. His armies were masters of psychological warfare, employing tactics that struck fear into the hearts of their enemies and undermined their resolve. The Mongols understood the power of terror and strategically executed acts of extreme violence and brutality to leave no doubt about the consequences of resisting their rule. Stories of their merciless massacres and the fate that awaited those who opposed them spread like wildfire, sowing panic and eroding enemy morale. Exploiting the element of surprise, the Mongols launched lightning-fast maneuvers, striking where their opponents least expected it. The fear of their unpredictable and overwhelming force created a constant state of anxiety and uncertainty among their adversaries. In addition, the Mongols utilized propaganda to amplify their psychological impact. Messengers were deployed to deliver messages of intimidation and threats, often exaggerating the extent of their conquest, further fueling the perception of their invincibility. The psychological warfare tactics extended to cultivating an aura of fear and myth around themselves, making their enemies feel overwhelmed even before the battles commenced. Genghis Khan, with his astute understanding of psychological manipulation, recognized the importance of breaking the spirit of his enemies. His army's ability to exploit psychological vulnerabilities played a crucial role in their success, as it demoralized and destabilized kingdoms that were otherwise well-equipped to resist. The use of psychological warfare by Genghis Khan's armies was a ruthless and calculated strategy, swiftly securing the capitulation of many cities and kingdoms. The deep-rooted psychological scars inflicted upon their enemies had a lasting impact on the collective memory of those who witnessed their atrocities. Examining the psychological warfare tactics employed by Genghis Khan and his armies reveals the cunning and calculated nature of his conquests, shedding light on the dark aspects of his reign and providing insight into the complexities of his rule. Forced relocations and human displacement. Genghis Khan's reign was characterized by not only physical violence and cultural destruction, but also by the widespread forced relocations and displacement of populations. Conquered communities were uprooted from their ancestral lands and subjected to grueling journeys to unfamiliar territories. Families were torn apart, lives disrupted, and identities shattered as they faced the loss of homes, communities, and ways of life. The forced relocations inflicted immense suffering, with many losing their lives during the arduous journeys. The displacement also resulted in the rupture of social structures and the loss of cultural continuity as communities found themselves scattered and adrift. The amalgamation of diverse ethnic and cultural groups further compounded tensions and conflicts. The traumatic consequences reverberated through generations, leaving an indelible mark on the affected communities. Genghis Khan's policy of forced relocations and human displacement stands as a reminder of the enduring human cost of unchecked power and the lasting legacies of historical atrocities. Legacy of Genghis Khan's conquests. The legacy of Genghis Khan's conquests is complex and far-reaching, leaving indelible imprints on history, culture, and geopolitics. While the unspeakable things he did cannot be overlooked, his empire's legacy extends beyond mere violence and destruction. One of the enduring impacts of Genghis Khan's conquests is the vast expanse of territory brought under Mongol rule. His empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea, creating a unified realm that fostered trade, cultural exchange, and the dissemination of knowledge. The Mongol Empire acted as a conduit for the transmission of ideas and technologies across diverse regions, contributing to the interconnectivity of civilizations. Genghis Khan's empire also promoted religious tolerance, allowing different faiths to coexist within its vast borders. This policy of religious freedom, although not without exceptions, created an environment that encouraged intellectual and artistic exchanges among diverse religious and cultural communities. These military innovations, along with their effective use of psychological warfare, left an enduring impact on the art of war, influencing military strategies for centuries to come. Additionally, Genghis Khan's conquests had significant economic effects. The vastness of his empire facilitated trade and economic growth, enabling the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies across vast distances. The establishment of the Pax Mongolica, a period of relative stability and security, facilitated trade along the Silk Road and stimulated economic prosperity in various regions. Delving into the unspeakable things Genghis Khan did reveals a complex and multifaceted legacy. His conquests left a trail of devastation, cultural destruction, and human suffering. However, they also shaped history, impacting trade routes, governance systems, military strategies, and cultural exchanges. It is essential to acknowledge both the darkness and the accomplishments to learn from the past, and to strive for a more compassionate and just future. We appreciate you joining us on this exploration of history's untold stories. If you enjoyed this episode, please show your support by liking and subscribing to our channel. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the captivating moments of history.